See what we're looking like here. Oh, yes. I see you drooling over that ooey gooey. Today we're making smoked mac and cheese. Let's get right into this thing. Let's go. All right, y'all, before anything, we got to boil some water, get our mac going. All right, y'all, today I am using technically 5 different cheeses. I'm going to be using a Velveeta type cheese as a base, but also I have mozzarella, I have Colby Jack, Gouda, and extra sharp cheddar. I recommend you shred this stuff yourself. That's why I have this rotary shredder. That way you don't have all the cellulose powder and stuff in there. And this will make for a better melting experience. So I'm going to get these graded. I'll put all the exact amounts in the description. And of course, you can play around with it to fit your taste. Okay, I'm shredding the mozzarella separately because that's the only one that I'm going to keep separate. The other ones I'm going to shred together because I'm going to use them all together. But the mozzarella I'm going to keep on its own. So you want to shred your mozz and set it to the side. These little rotary shredders are pretty handy, man. If you want to check this one out, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get one on Amazon. Use my affiliate link, I'll get a little piece of the action, you dig. But yeah, I'm liking this little thing, man. So I'm going to reserve a little bit of this Colby Jack. I'm going to put that on the plate with my mozzarella because I think I'm going to melt some of this on top. So that was the Colby Jack. Got my Gouda now. And this is the extra sharp cheddar. All right, my water has come to a nice rolling boil. I'm gonna add in 2 nice pinches of salt. And I'm using Cavatappi pasta. This is a corkscrew, so it's a little more interesting than your regular old elbow. But this is what I like. I think it holds onto the sauce well, gives good bite, and it's just a little different from the elbows that we're used to. So I'm going to use 8 ounces of this. All right, and while this is coming to a boil and cooking, this is a great time to go outside and get our fire started so that we can indeed smoke this mac and cheese. All right, let's get our fire going. Today I'm using lump charcoal from Harder Charcoal. This is the Quebracho hardwood lump charcoal. This is stuff from South America. Oh, I am really loving this charcoal, y'all. Might sound a little crazy to be excited about charcoal, but when you use as much as I do, you can get excited. This stuff does not like spall and spark and fart and do all the other stuff. This stuff burns hot. It burns clean. Pieces are huge. I mean, I can't say enough good stuff about this, y'all. If you get a chance, you're interested, if you find Harder Charcoal online, and try out a bag, man. I highly recommend it. I thoroughly enjoy using it. And so I'm going to get my basket. I'm probably going to go a little more than 1/3 of the way full because I'm going to run this, try to aim to get this to rock solid at 350. So at my charcoal, I have my tumbleweed fire starters. Keep telling y'all, leave that lighter fluid alone. I like this little cage for the tumbleweeds. Keeps them in place, tons of airflow. So they'll burn hot, they'll burn complete, and they'll spread fire all around your charcoal. So get this in, get it lit. We'll get inside and finish putting our mac together. All right. That's lit and going. While our fire's going again, we'll get inside, get the rest of this mac together. All right, we're going to check on our pasta here. We want to make sure that it's not overcooked. We want this to be very al dente. So we want to cook this about 85 to 90% cooked. Hold on, puppy. My dog wants to come in, yo. Yep, this is very close. About another minute and a half, we're going to pull this off, drain it. We'll start. Excuse me, I'm choking. We'll start building our sauce. Don't choke like me. Let's get this thing together. All right, pasta is done. My cooker is off. Time to get this drained. Again, y'all, I got this cooked to about 85%. I'm cooking to 85% of the way done for a couple of reasons. For one, I still want some chew to my pasta. A lot of recipes, you will see people tell you to cook it to 90, 95% and then rinse it with cold water to stop the cooking process. Well, I don't like doing that. To me, it makes my pasta soggy and it rinses the starch off. And that's going to prevent my cheese sauce from doing all that it can to cling on to this pasta. So I'm going to stay with 85%. I'm just going to drain it, let it sit, let it cool. I'll mix it a few times so it's not sticking too bad, and that's it. All right, now it's time to build the cheese sauce. Let's get this pot going. All right, I'm going to put my pot on medium-low. And I've got a 1/4 cup of butter. I'm going to let that melt down. I'm using the same pot that I cooked the pasta in. No need to wash it or rinse it. That little starch that's left in there, that's our friend. It's going to help keep things in check, help all those proteins stick together. We're doing a bunch of different cheeses, and sometimes that can be a little tricky, especially when you're talking about making a sauce, adding milk and cream and stuff like that. That little starch is going to be our friend, help us kind of keep everything stuck together and keep everything in check. All right, butter is melting nicely. Now I'm coming in with a 1/4 cup of flour. It's just regular old all-purpose flour. And yeah, we're making a roux. And it's actually going to be the base of our cheese sauce. And going to be making a bit of a bechamel that will turn into a cheese sauce. So yeah, I'm teaching you a little bit of classic technique here. We won't cook this very long. We're just going to cook this to get the raw flour taste out of there. We're not looking for a bunch of color. It's just going to, again, y'all, be the thickener and the base for our cheese sauce. You're going to keep this moving. Again, we don't want a bunch of color on this. And so actually, I'm going to add a touch more flour to that. That's looking a little loose to me. A roux is traditionally equal parts fat and flour. And that's good in theory, but Hey, man. Every stick of butter isn't the same. Every bag of flour isn't the same. It's a good baseline, but like anything else, man, recipe it's a guide. And if something's not quite right, do what you can to fix it. And that roux is looking a little loose to me, so again, I would start with the equal parts, quarter cup and quarter cup. But if you need to add a little more flour to tighten up your roux, I highly encourage you do so. So I ended up adding basically about another tablespoon of flour on top of the quarter cup. And yeah, that's going to put me where I want to be. So again, y'all, don't be afraid to make adjustments. That's what it's all about. So starting to get a beautiful smell coming off of here. It's smelling nice and nutty. Nice aroma. Yep, that smells good. I'm going to let this cook for probably another 30 seconds to a minute. And I'm going to start adding my milk and cream. All right, so I have 3 cups of milk and a half cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm not going to put this all in at once. Just going to add a little touch. I'm going to start whisking this roux and liquid together. I want to make sure I break up any lumps, anything off the sides and the bottom. I want to get all that stuff handled before I put in the bulk of my liquid. And I can see that it's starting to thicken up. So I'm going to start coming in a little bit at a time. All right, that's mixed thoroughly. Make this with a little pinch of salt. Fresh cracked black pepper. Now at this point, this is when you can go crazy. I would avoid adding seasonings with too much salt. If you're gonna add something that has a decent amount of salt, don't add the salt that I added in, but you can go into things like mustard powder, Creole seasoning, you can add jalapeno, you can do all kind of stuff. This would be the time to do it. That way it's mixed into your liquid, it can dissolve and be spread evenly through your sauce. Once you start adding cheese, those proteins tend to lock up and bind up. And it makes it hard to get your seasonings distributed through there. So I'm actually going to add some Creole seasoning to mine. Not a ton, again, because I got some salt in there. I just want a little heat. And I want a little color. So this is probably, I don't know, a heavy pinch. Not even a whole lot to measure. But you do it to your taste. And speaking of taste, we're going to give this a taste. Got to taste as you go, y'all, so you can adjust your seasonings. That's good. I'm going to add just a little more of this Creole seasoning. So all in all, I would say this is maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon. And that should do it. But again, do it to your taste. All right, my bechamel is starting to simmer. It's nice and thick. Now I'm going to start adding my cheese. So we talked about adding some Velveeta. I'm going to add 6 ounces in here. This is cubed. I'm going to stir this. And I'm not going to add anything else until this is all melted down into this sauce. At this point, I'm going to be stirring constantly. Make sure that my sauce is coming together well and to make sure that nothing sticks. All right, Velveeta is all melted down. Now I'm going to start in with my other cheeses. So these are all the cheeses that I shredded. And I'm going to add these just a handful at a time until everything is melted in nicely. And, you know, sometimes you get that cheese sauce and it's kind of like grainy, stringy. We don't want that. So we're going to take our time with this, add in a handful at a time. Once it is completely melted in and incorporated to the sauce, we'll go another handful, so on and so on. And another reason you don't want to dump all that cheese in all at once, the cheese is actually still pretty cold and this sauce is hot. So you don't want to do that because that can shock and even break your sauce. And if nothing else, it's just really going to slow you down because you're going to cool your sauce all the way down and it's just going to take that much longer to get it back up to temp so that you can melt all the cheese into it. So there's several reasons why. And if nothing else, because BK told you so, just listen to me sometime. So I see like some strings floating on the top. Once I don't see strings of cheese floating around, stringing along, then I'll add the next handful. I don't know if y'all can quite see that from this angle or not, but that's a good indicator for me. All right, no more strings. Next handful. And again, we'll complete this process doing this one handful at a time. So let's get this cheese melted in and get our pasta in. All right, sauce is finished. As you can see, it is not too thick, but it's still, yeah, see that? That's what we're looking for. So now we're going to add our mac. So that looks good already. And you could eat that already. That would be more of like a stovetop style of mac and cheese. But we're going on the smoker, y'all. So we're going to get this into a skillet and get it ready to get out there on that smoker, man. All right, so I have a cast iron skillet because I'm going out there on the smoker. I'm going to spray this with some oil just to help with sticking. All right. So I'm going to go about halfway. Spread this out. Now I'm coming in with the mozzarella that we had from earlier. This is going to help us get a beautiful cheese pull when we start digging into this thing. Just another layer of cheese and flavor. And we'll go on top with the rest. And then we had that other little bit of cheese that we reserved. So this is what I'm going to use to put on the top. So we have a nice cheese crust. You know what we're looking for. That beautiful presentation. And y'all can make this like super cheesy if you want. Just be careful not to put too much so that way you don't have like a big block of cheese that's not melted. And the last step, we'll hit it with just a little bit of parsley, just for a little color. Keep things interesting. That's it. Gonna go get this thing on the smoker. Our smoker should be between 325 and 350. We'll get this on and get cooking. I want some real smoke on this mac and cheese, man. So I'm gonna add some splits. This is all post oak that I have here. And I usually keep some small pieces up top, even little chunks and stuff like that. So I don't want to add anything super big because I don't want to disturb my temperature. I like where my temperature's at. I just want to add some smoke. We'll get a small spike in temperature, but nothing that's going to derail us. So yeah, I think these will do nicely. We're going to get these on the fire, and then we'll throw our mac and cheese on there and get it smoking. All right. Of course, the long guys show up while I'm trying to record, but hopefully y'all can hear what I'm saying. It's time to get this on the smoker. I can smell that beautiful post oak. I got a nice breeze coming through, as y'all can see from the way the wind is blowing. I'm putting that right in the middle. Coming down with this. I'm going with my very top rack because
I found this on the web.
I didn't ask you. I'm going with the very top rack because I don't want the bottom to be close to the fire, but I also want the lid to bounce back that heat and melt our cheese on top. So this is going to act like an oven, and all that's going to circulate around. But yeah, my wood is burning nice, free and clear. You can hear it popping. And that's the wood popping again. That charcoal is running like a dream, y'all. Shout out to Harder Charcoal. So lid down, man. We're just going to let this go. I'm going to check it every now and again, make sure everything is doing what it's supposed to do. But yeah, I'm going to get that good smoke flavor and beautiful cheese melt. Champion rocking like it always does. Mac and cheese is ready. Let's pop this lid, take a look at this thing. All right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This has been on here about 35, 40 minutes. Yeah. I like the way this is about to go. Let's see what we're looking like here. Oh, yes. All right, y'all. Let's give it a taste. All right, coming in for this taste test, y'all. Boy, hot. Man, yes. Hell yeah. Look. It's cheesy, it's smoky. It's hot. But tons of flavor. You gotta rate this, man. This is really good. Now listen. Do this at your own peril. If you're making this for Thanksgiving, you better make what them folks like. But I'm telling you, try this recipe. If you get cussed out on Thanksgiving, it's not my fault. No, seriously, y'all, this is very good, and I hope y'all try it. I'll catch y'all on the next one.